Good morning, everybody. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020, Best Podcast News Award winner, 2018 Innovation Award winner, given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Doveman Plus Care, and our team has reached out directly and indirectly to over 300,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world since 2020. I'm also a featured contributor to the Fly Nubian Queen YouTube channel. It's powered by Dr. Boyce and Dr. Alicia Watkins, and that platform has 581,000 subscribers. And also, you can check us out because I'm a contributor to Indie Soup Media, which is now just a little over 1 month old. And it's an independent creators network powered by Dr. Tachi out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. There's about 26 content creators, and the reach of that platform is over 1 million people. So there we go. So that's happening. And welcome everybody. Hope everyone had a good weekend if you're watching live, or hope you're doing good wherever you're watching. Ryan Knight is here in his blue. Woo, looking cool.
Good to see you. You're looking sharp in your red. I like it.
Thank you very much. Well, I guess we have to up the game, and I see, you got your hair game going good, and all these things. So just a few little quick things. Don't have everything properly set up today, so I got to navigate a little bit because I didn't put everything in order. So just do this. All right. Let's see this stuff is all around the place.
Well, while you're pulling that up, for everyone that might not remember.
Yes. Please give you some props here.
So my name is Ryan Knight, one of the co-founders of the Afro Caribbean Business Network. We support entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, really to figure out what stage the business is in, and then help them create a strategy to grow their companies exponentially. And I am an entrepreneur myself. I run a company called Detailing Nights. So we provide mobile, waterless car cleaning. So go into your house or to your office to clean your car on the spot without using water, and our plant-based, eco-friendly cleaning supplies. And we have started recruiting for our summer youth entrepreneurship program. So please, if you have a teenager or a young adult that may have had trouble getting a job last summer or is looking for a job this summer, and they can be out of school as well, or in high school or in college, send them our way. Our next info session is May the 21st, so Tuesday, May 21st in the evening. And really, it's to invite them to explore the possibilities of starting their own business in the summer. And it's interesting, a lot of parents are like not even sure if their kids can start a business. I'm like, why are you blocking your kids from opportunity? Don't talk them out of it. Don't talk them out of it for them. So
all right.
I'm like, tell them just to come and see it. So a couple parents sent their nephews and their children. So it's been good.
Well, okay, let's do some other housekeeping stuff. We'll get in because there's a number of good conversation topics already. And today I'll just off the top of my alleged mind, open mic Monday. So anything you guys want to chat about, put in the comments. We have some things we want to chat about, but let's do some things here. Please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. Hit the subscribe and notification button. Thank you very much. And also follow Dr. Vibe on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. If you want to advertise your business, product, or service on the platform, please feel free to email me dr.vibe@the.vibe.com. Also, continue the conversation offline. I want to get back. If we can get more advertisers, we'd be on more often, people. I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Right. I put it out there. That's why we always pitch that to most important to promote one's business, product, or service, but also we can do these conversations more often. So I just want to put that out there. Also, join the Morning Vibe Discord group on on Discord, which has been very good. It's been very good to do that, where you can put in comments stories you think are important to yourselves, etc. If you want to get hold of Ryan, there's all the locations: website, LinkedIn, Instagram, email address, and then I've got to correct that little space, and I'll get it done before the end
And
of
if
the
you're
show.
sending me a message, LinkedIn is better than Instagram. Just
And
just so
as
you know.
no, so just put a pin on that. That's very good to know. Website, there's all the information. You can get a hold of me. Website, YouTube, Facebook, The Dr. Vibe Show, Instagram at the DRVIBESHOW, and then X, Twitter at DRVIBESHOW, and then email dr.vibe at the DRVIBESHOW.com. So things are just coming up in real time. And you know what? I'm going to just make sure we say hello to some people here. Fitness IQ Cam. Morning, y'all. Good to see you. And she did a broadcast on Saturday. Get your taxes in if you haven't. Frequency of Approaches. Good day, Dr. Vibe and Ryan Knight. Hope you're doing better than good. I'm doing fine.
Okay.
And Travel Jones says, gracious greetings and good morning. What is up, Travel Jones? Back again. Hope you're a subscriber. So just off some of the things you shared, that is so important that I share with entrepreneurs. When you are developing a relationship with a potential client, or even asking them what's the best way to get a hold of you. Right. Because there's so many different platforms that people can be on. What I like you did that, Ryan. That's really good. What's the best way? Or ask that person what's the best way, because obviously you want communication to be regular, and you don't want to send something and you hear that person say, "Oh, I hardly go on there."
Or I don't even manage that. Some people don't even manage their Instagram account. So
well, this is a thing too. I tell people the worst place to get a hold of me. What do you think, Ryan? You probably know this.
Out of the social medias?
Yeah.
Oh man, I would have thought Instagram. Or do you have TikTok yet?
Good point again. This is really, you're getting Dr. Vibe exposed here. I was not into TikTok at all, and then 2 summers ago, I had an intern and said, "Dr. Vibe, how come you don't post on TikTok?" I said, "Well, there's only one Dr. Vibe. That's why." And I get more return on investment on other platforms than TikTok, which is going to be interesting. In a year's time, will TikTok even be accessible in the United States? Right. And actually, we talked about this on Saturday's primetime with Aisha and Lala, and Aisha wasn't there, but stepping in was Dr. Tachi. How many people use CapCut?
Okay, I see when I'm scrolling on TikTok, it'll show like CapCut edits, and if you click it, it'll take you to a template. But I haven't really used it. You like it?
Well, CapCut is an incredibly free video editor that's available on phone and on desktop, laptop. Like in the last week, I was saying for a long period of time, because people I respect in the social media say you should use CapCut. You should use CapCut. And I don't do it much on phone, but about 2 weeks ago, I spent an evening learning CapCut, and the basics I've got down pat. So I say, I feel great. And I always tell people you should not only have a to-do list, but you should have a to-learn list.
Absolutely. I love that.
Right. I learned it, but it didn't come to I knew it, but I didn't realize it till Saturday's conversation. CapCut is owned by TikTok, the same company that owns TikTok.
Okay. So I can see why they push that.
So I'm wondering if the impending ban on TikTok in the US is going to apply to CapCut.
Gotcha. Well, when they were, I guess, interviewing the CEO of TikTok, a gentleman from Singapore.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're trying to distance ownership from certain properties. So I'm curious who runs CapCut, even though it's owned by
the company's ByteDance. That's the name of the company, ByteDance, that owns TikTok, and I guess they also own CapCut. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in that. Of course, Brian Smith, hello, bonjour. You were there last Friday, and people, feel free to give some comments about last Friday's conversation with Perry Douglas and the allegations on the BBPA. Believe it or not, last Friday's conversation was the most viewed live conversation I may have ever done on live.
Gotcha.
Ever. It was crazy.
And you guys were going for a while. It was like
2.5 hours, and we could have went longer. And you know, it was a blessing
Yes.
that Perry, I didn't realize, but Perry was in Montreal. He told me he was in Montreal. I said, okay, he's visiting, and he's visiting one of his children up in Montreal. I said, I guess we're not going to be able to go for too long. No, he was all in.
Gotcha.
But yeah, the stats, I looked at the comment, I said, wow, that was just out of bounds. So it was thanks again for paying. Actually, he was interviewed yesterday morning on a local station here out of Toronto, AM 640 by Ben Mulroney.
Okay, gotcha.
So I caught that live also. So big up to Perry.
About the same topic or a different topic?
Same topic.
Oh boy.
Same topic. And actually that's another interesting, we'll bring it up because it's another good topic. So Fitness IQ Camp says LinkedIn is the worst one. No, I'm not too bad on LinkedIn. So here's it, family. What is the social media platform? I've said it off and on that I just go, I don't really like using it. Well, let's see what happens. So Travel Jones says, yes, I'm a sub. I found you through Fly Brother and Friends. Yes, Travel Jones.
Okay.
Fly Brother. You know what? And so Fly Brother, for those people who don't know, who I met digitally about 10, 11 years ago, is a gentleman named Ernest White II. He was born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And long story short, he's the only Black American, North American male who hosts a travel show on a major network. Right. And the network is called PBS, and he hosts it, and it's called Fly Brother. And what he does is he just goes around the world, right, and it showcases different cities and countries, and they pay him to do that. That's his business. Right. One of his business. He has a few other. He has a production company also. But the funny thing is, we finally had a chance. He's been in Toronto a few times over the years, and we've never been able to meet. Mm. And then about a month ago, he said, Vibe. I go, what? He says, I'm going to be in Toronto this Sunday. Yeah. I go, what are you doing on this side of the world? He was actually speaking at the Ottawa Black Film Festival the day before, and on his way back to Vancouver, he was going to stop by in Toronto. So we sat down. I said, even if it's 45 minutes, I'm going to do it.
It's nice.
So we sat down, had some food, etc. And he invited a few other people. So this lady comes and sits beside me, non-melanated, and we're just having a conversation. I don't know if I told you about it. See, I'm at this other studio right now. That she runs a platform called Journey Woman. Okay. Now, here's a perfect example of niche. Its target market is women over 50 who like to travel.
Gotcha. Right.
Niche market. And we chatted, and I asked her, because I'm all about sponsorships, people. So I asked her, like, have you been pursuing sponsorships? She goes, oh, we haven't started yet. I go, what? All right. But the thing is, she gave, most of the times you get a business card. It's like, your 3x5. She had a postcard, again, travel postcard, right? And she listed a whole pile of stats about her audience on that card.
And she isn't already pursuing sponsorship, but she's creating the audience profile.
Her email list is 110,000 people.
Wow.
And the thing is, though,
she's money on the table.
Yeah, well, she's doing okay, but she hasn't gone into that realm yet. And then the crazy thing is that she didn't start the business herself. She bought the business.
Gotcha.
Which is another form of entrepreneurship, people. You don't always have to start it from scratch. You can buy an existing business there may be people here who are young, but many years ago on Much Music, there was a VJ named Erica M. Don't know if anyone remembers that name, but Erica M was one of the first VJs on Much Music, and her mother founded Journey Woman. So Erica and this lady had developed a friendship, and Erica's mother is getting up in age, and Erica said, hey, do you want to buy it?
Yeah. So that sparks an interesting conversation around, because we're doing these building wealth workshops, and the one coming up in May is about succession planning and talking about how our businesses are typically not worth as much as we might think because we haven't structured and increased the value. So when we get older and go to sell it, it's actually not worth anything. So it's difficult to sell. So there's a lot of things that you can do, because look at that list. If she didn't have that list to be able to purchase, the company wouldn't be worth anything.
Yeah.
So that's where understanding how to structure the business is going to be a good conversation.
That's a great, and then people say, well, and right there, she has 110,000 people on a mailing list. That's a value add proposition. That's money sitting right there, potential revenue. But all these stats, I went, oh my goodness. So that's actually sitting on my desk in my other studio, because I use this. I'm using this now as an example. This is one of the ways you can present your business, because with all those stats, I'm going, wow. And all the different services they offer. She's just in the process of starting a podcast. So she's rocking and rolling. So as I was getting ready to leave, I say, so what you up to next week? He says, oh, I'm going to Europe to visit my daughter in London.
Oh,
and then I'm going into Europe to do some work for the company. And then I'm going to come back in 2 weeks and sell my house. I go, why are you selling your house? She goes, well, because of Journey Woman, I'm only in my house 20% of the time. So why am I paying mortgage on something I don't live in? So she's selling her house.
Gotcha. So curious, I don't know if you mentioned it, but she's against renting it out. I'm hearing a few horror stories coming out about renters.
Well, okay, but this is the thing, and for many people I've spoke with, and probably you, where we live, okay, in at least in Ontario, it's favored to the renter, the person who's renting, than the owner, right? Yeah. So I don't know what it is, but if she's only there 20% of the time, and I don't think she's not, doesn't have a partner, so basically it's just her. So who is she going to get to manage the property when she's not there? So it's just better for her. She said she'll just maybe rent something, but owning a home, not her game at all. Not a game at all. So let's catch up with some comments. Yes, April 30th is tomorrow. So if you see a little crazy around banks today and tomorrow, crazy. Now she said LinkedIn. No, LinkedIn is not my least favorite. Let's see. Oh, Jam Face Beauty. What is up? I met you at the Leg Up Wealth Symposium. I'm still waiting to hear back from you, because you said you committed to doing something. So no problem. Frequency Event Promotion says hashtag to learn list. Absolutely. Yeah. A learn list after tax season. There you go. What app doesn't count? Well, what app is the platform I least engage in?
Really?
I get so much junk. I've so much stuff. People have put me on lists I don't even know. I'm getting stuff. I say, I don't want to see this. Right. And what it does, I get a lot of stuff that clogs up the storage in my phone.
That part I don't like. And I think there's a way you can take it off, that it automatically saves videos and photos.
Yeah.
Every so often you get a notification you're out of storage.
Thank you.
I haven't even been taking pictures. What happened?
100%. I'm the same way. So what I have to do periodically is I get those things and I put it on a separate drive so I can go through this stuff. But yeah, that's crazy. Frequency says, Dr. I think you land. I'd like to see more workshops on niche marketing. Very important. Absolutely. Like maybe during the break I can run up and get the card. I don't know if I can do it the 2-minute dash, but I could. It was really, really impressive. And I reached out to her. I haven't heard back. I got to follow up with her, because I was so impressed by the way she presented her brand. It was amazing. And and all her board of directors or advisory board, all women over 50.
Yes. Okay.
And she showed me a lady that they have featured in their brand, 80 plus years old, traveler, and she was being featured on BBC websites all around the world.
Got it. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, Ray McMillan is in the house saying, "Good morning, gentlemen. I always tell people I mentor, you start a business for one of two reasons: to lead to the next generation or to sell some point in the future." And I think that's another conversation topic. What financial legacy are you leaving your family? Like the other day, I was watching it yesterday. Was it Saturday? Dr. Boyce was doing a great live saying, think about what things will be like if you're not around? Who's going to pay your bills? Who's going to do this? Who's going to do that? Who has access to your bank account? He said he didn't want to be negative or anything, but you're going to die, all of us. What world do you have set up after you have transitioned?
And that it's planning, and a lot of people dismiss planning. And even at the symposium, oh my gosh, Manel from New Haven Funeral Homes was there talking about succession planning, and it's a topic that people really are good at dismissing, because again, until crisis is happening and it's like right in your face, you feel you have so much time. But even if we have time, it's still about the planning. And that's where I love what Dr. Boyce is talking about. And I remember taking one of his courses, and he talked about creating a 300-year plan. And your brain like can't even really like, you have to really think beyond yourself, beyond your kids, beyond their kids. It's like you're thinking, what can I do now to actually impact like how much? That's like almost 6 generations.
Yep.
It's more than that. So that frame of mind, and then when you reverse engineer it, you realize, okay, I need to plan now for my whenever I pass, so that it doesn't surprise everybody around us. Like everybody, it's like when you pass, that's when everybody's scrambling, and we've heard all the stories.
Oh yeah,
trying to figure out stuff and
go. Yeah,
and there's a whole show about it, Succession.
Absolutely.
And well, he hasn't died yet, though. But
Ray hits it on the head. Either you have systems and processes. Yeah, you have, and I think that those words, systems and processes, in as many areas in your life makes it easier. Having systems and processes. Good morning, Roger Dundas. Good morning. Hope all is well with Roger, Camille, and their 2 wonderful and growing youths out there. And actually, Roger, you'll see him in the 2 weeks' time. What's coming up in 2 weeks' time, Ryan?
Yeah, the Buy Blacks Restaurant Week is going to be kicking off May 20th. So please, and it's going to be in multiple cities too. So if you're watching across Canada, look out for a kickoff coming to you. I know we have Toronto, Halifax, Vancouver, Alberta. I think Edmonton and Calgary, we're sorting that out. Montreal, Ottawa. So, and then it's only going to grow from there. Imagine where it started and where it's at now. It's going to keep growing.
Absolutely. And
sorry, just a big shout out to the Black Opportunity Fund, who came on as title sponsors.
Woo!
And Meridian is sponsoring as well. So
very nice. Very nice. And the week before Restaurant Week, on the Monday and Friday, we will be having conversations with some of the participants in this edition of Black Restaurant Week. So put it on your calendar. It's a done deal. Opal Inspired. Good morning, everyone. Please follow her creations on YouTube. Frequency Event Pro says there's riches in the niches. Yes, and there's nothing. I will say too many people who look like us are dying with a bill, not a will.
Mm-hmm.
Also, off topic, there's a burger joint in Scarborough, and they have lettuce, and they don't have lettuce on any burger they sell. The funny thing is, there's droves of people lining up for burgers with no lettuce. What's the name of that place?
I think my son Christian would love that place.
You're kidding.
Off the lettuce.
That's it. And there's a lot. Okay. I'd like. Yeah, and just out of curiosity, is that burger place owned by African person? If they are, definitely get that information to me. I'll get it to Roger, because that place should be showcased.
That's an interesting
that place should be showcased. But okay, so we're gonna take a break. And family, please come to us with conversation pieces. There's some that Ryan and I may talk about, but we want you to drive the conversation. Now, people, let me ask, do you want me to try and go get this travel woman card and see if I can get it in 2 minutes?
Hey, we won't hold it against you if you don't make it back in time.
All right. So we're going to thank you. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick little break. We'll be back in around 2 minutes. And let's see if Dr. Vibe can do his.
It would be good if you could Bring the camera with
No,
you.
no, 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 no. Don't you're out of order there. You're out of order. So
We'll see in a minute.
we're gonna do this. I got 2 minutes and 5 seconds. Here we go. Bye.
And that's what I feel like. You feel like you're the Harry Tubman of the mind.
I am.
I feel like I'm the I'm one of the Harry Tubmans of intelligent Black people. Like I want to liberate y'all from like being left behind and ignored and oblivion. No, really, the rappers get all the attention. Seriously, does anybody else feel this way? Like ignorant Black people, they'll be all up, getting all the headlines on the Shade Room.
Overly sexualized Black folks.
Like the twerkers and the just people that don't always represent the best of us. The diversity. Like people like Dr. Vibe. Like everybody should know about people like Dr. Vibe. Dr.
Really
Vibe he's trying to do good work for Black people. Dr. Vibe from Toronto. Good to see you, my brother. Dr. Vibe. Everybody follow Dr. Vibe. He has a great show. He's very good at what he does, and I have a lot of respect for him. The men who are also doing the same thing. I see Dr. Vibe in here. He's a great brother. Everybody should follow Dr. Vibe, by the way. He's a smart brother in Canada, and we need to follow smart people. So follow Dr. Vibe. If you see him in the chat, and Dr. Vibe, say your name in the chat so people can see you. I want you to click on his name, and I want you to go follow him, please, because I want these men and women that are doing the right things to get the support they deserve. Hey, Dr. Vibe, how you doing, brother? Again, like I always do, I got to say everybody should go follow Dr. Vibe. He's got a great show. Dr. Vibe, I know Dr. Vibe's got a kingdom because I see your channel. I see you pouring into that every day. Everybody should follow Dr. Vibe, by the way. Look him up, Dr. Vibe, V-I-B-E. He's a great friend of me and my wife, and I love this guy. Okay, so let me hop into this. What's up, Dr. Vibe? How you doing? Everybody, if you see Dr. Vibe in the chat, everybody go follow the Dr. Vibe show. Dr. Bob is a real smart brother and a good human being. I like the guy a lot, and he's very intelligent. And I think everyone should pay attention to what he's got going on. We got to shine the spotlight on the intelligent Black people out here that are really doing the good work. Don't just pay attention to the rappers and the celebrities. A lot of these people are losers. Your true winners are your people in your community that are really having your back. Helping us to have stronger families and a stronger community. So Dr. Bob is in that category. So you might see the Dr. Bob show in this chat. If you see him, please go follow him. Okay. All right. So anyway.
Hey.
On the sprint.
With 30 seconds to spare. Come on now.
You could have beat Harry Jerome, bro. You should have joined the sprint.
Yes, well, I did when I was much, much younger. I did do sprints. Relay.
100, 200?
It was 100.
Nice,
in public school, and then also was the anchor of the relay team.
Nice.
And then what other thing did? Oh yeah, this is going back a bit. For a period of time, I don't know what age group it was. I held the standing broad jump record for Toronto. I can't remember what age group that was, but back in the day. Back in the day. Well, you know what? And I thank my mother for that because she was quite the athlete when she was younger. She's quite the running athlete. So we are back. Prime time. Not prime time. I'm getting confused. The Morning Vibe on, what is it? Is it April 29th? One day before taxes are due in Canada for individuals. If you're self-employed, you have a little bit more time. But if you, look who's here. Yes, Travel Jones, clock is ticking. Yes. Dr. Tachi, as always, thank you. And this will be another one of the content you'll see on Indie Suit Media TV. But she is here also.
And Travel Jones, since you're here, would love to get you on the show. We got some open spots coming up.
Yeah.
While you're on jet setting.
Yes, so definitely. I may try to get Ernest on, but it would be 6 o'clock in the morning his time, but I'll see if we can get him on. I can see that, but great to get him on.
We'll catch him when he's in a different time zone.
Yes, he's on the left coast, as I like to say. Is there anyone in business ecosystem that specializes in teaching niche marketing? Interesting.
No, not that I've seen. I mean, it comes up, but not specialized.
Okay, it's called Johnny Burger. Where's it located? It's not Johnny's, is it? Because Johnny's I know about. That's at Victoria Park and Shepherd. That place has been around for oh my gosh, at least 30 years. That's an institution, Johnny's Hamburgers, right at the southeast corner of Victoria Park and Shepherd. And funny thing is, I remember that place. There used to be a Shell gas station beside it. Then now it's a Shoppers Drug Mart, but Johnny's Burgers is still there. That's an institution there. But Johnny Burger, but tell us where it is. So Ryan, okay, I'm back. So I don't know if people will be able to see this, but this is Yeah, oh, there we go.
It's okay. Oh well, we can see the breakdown of it.
Yeah,
I'll be able to read it, but nice.
I'll read it. But
Okay,
this is what she gave me as a card, right? So
And-
right here,
Yeah.
right over here is a breakdown of her demographics. Like this: are you missing opportunities to connect and build loyal relationships? And then on the other side,
Right.
the whites take. Oh yeah, with over 50 of the world's most travel influencers. But so let me read these stats, and people ask some questions here. We're just open it, but I'm going to read. So, Journey Woman, the power of women plus in 50 plus in travel. Listen to her the demographic breakdown. 44% travel solo, 31 travel with a partner or a friend, 96% are travel decision makers in their households.
Ah, right.
70,
That's a big percentage that travel solo.
Right? That's 50 plus, right?
Yeah.
But also too, on average, ladies live longer than men.
Interesting. Yes.
And also too,
that's true.
Divorce.
Right.
Okay. 73% are planning international travel. So this is from 73% are planning to do international travel in 2023. 73%.
Wow.
You know, that's to me, that's disposable income.
Absolutely.
And think about all the products that are involved in travel: hotels, luggage,
yeah,
Airbnb,
excursions, like this.
that. I'm just going cha-ching, 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 right? 55%. Now this was crazy. 55% spend between $1,000 and $3,000 a week on travel.
A week?
Yes.
Wow.
46% spend between 46% spend between $3,000 and $5,000 a week. 48% prefer to travel off season. 81% are planning to travel more than 2 weeks per year.
Okay.
59% are planning to take at least one group tour in 2023. 70% feel the travel. This is the really, really good one. 70% feel the travel industry ignores or undervalues them. So if I'm going, okay, there's an opportunity of a group that feels that they're undervalued, I want to get in on that, right? So metrics, they have a mailing list over 110,000 people. North American audience is 85%. This is it. Yeah, founded in 1994. We are the original solo travel website for women. They have a magazine, they have a travel directory. They have travel deals and discounts, destination features, book club, podcasts, travel tips for women's, webinars, and events. And the brand itself has over 30 years of leadership. Journey Woman is the largest and most trusted resource for women over 50 in traveling. Like when I got that, so you see why I'm keeping it?
Exactly. Yes. And that's where you talk about like surveying your audience and knowing what things they're interested in so that you can speak to who your audience is.
100%. Like, I'm a firm believer. If you want your business to grow, one of the best ways, survey them. So then you have data.
Right.
That Absolutely. Is, yeah. So Journey, I'm even going to see if we can get her on the show. Yes. Even though she's non-melanated, I think business is business.
Right. Yes.
And it was just so amazing to just hear. I just said, wow. And I keep that on my desk to encourage me. And you're curious, what is the web address, please? It is journeywoman.com. Right? Journeywoman.com. So just wanted to throw that in. So Ryan, any things you want to chat about or ask me about? And family too, ask questions. This is an open mic Monday because Friday is believe it or not, the first Friday in May.
Yes.
And Wayne Harris will be on, but and just other things. I'm doing some conversations on the Dr. Vibe show this week, one with a lady named Dr. O. And there's a new online course to educate those who are in the medical profession about anti-Black racism. So that's happening on Tuesday, and then on Tuesday evening, and then Wednesday evening, I'm doing a conversation with the president of the Black Health Professionals of Ontario, and they're having a big event this coming Saturday, in a whole day symposium on mental health. So that's going on. But Ryan, go for it. I'm yapping too much.
No, it's all good. There's a few things. I have 3 topic items. One, I don't know if you saw, but prices were slashed for the Harry Drum Award. So I was curious if you were able to afford it and go.
Slashed. What were they slashed to?
$250. So.
Well, okay. A few things about the Harry Drum Awards in light of the conversation, and we won't get into the full thing. Go to buyblocks.com, read the story. Okay.
Or watch Friday's episode.
Yeah, even better.
Everything
Watch
and
Friday's.
anything that needs to be said was said.
Exactly.
That was a deep dive.
Look at this. Let's see. Roger says Ryan the troublemaker. Okay.
They posted that prices were cheaper. That's why I wasn't able to go. I chose to pay my water bill with my $300. So
okay. So a few things. I was invited by someone to go early last week to go to that event. I said, I couldn't go because I had a show. So I have a regular show on 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I didn't want to go. I'll just leave it at that. I chose not to go. So but I heard from many reports, it was a full house. People had a great time.
Really good.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it looked like a full house.
Like a full house. It looked like everyone had a good time. I asked some people I got some reports. People knew about the situation, but they said, you know what? And I guess if you've already paid $250 to $300, I guess you're not gonna go.
That's the timing. Like the timing of how things unfolded didn't leave them a lot of choice to shut it down.
I don't think a lot of people would decide not to go anyways, because for a lot of people, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure they already bought their dress and their
exactly. So I heard it was well attended, etc. But okay. Well, let's put it this way. Even before that, I wasn't interested in going. Let's put it that way, because I have not been to one in many years. Like the last time I went, I was asked to deliver some tickets to someone there to go to the event. I delivered the tickets, and I ran into, again, if people who are older, who especially in this country, I ran into a gentleman named Michael Williams, who was the first African Canadian to be a VJ in Much Music, and we sat down outside the event and had an incredible 2-hour conversation. I had no interest in going to the event, believe it or not. Just my
he was going to the event.
He never ended up going in. He never ended up going in. So I don't know if he had a ticket or not. He was there, and we just sat down because I said I want to shoot my shot, and eventually it got him to come on the show. I took my advantage. So,
well, for you, that's where it should be more of a partnership for you to cover the event or maybe do the red carpet. Like, I'm shocked that more Black media isn't there to actually cover it. Like,
well, I think right now, well,
I'm talking like historically.
I've never been. I've never been asked to cover it by the BVPA. Never.
That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Never.
That also with other Black events, like just getting Black media to cover it. That's
a whole other conversation. Like I said, I guess I'm worthless. You know what I do is worthless. I get on a platform that has 581,000 YouTube subscribers. I guess I have no value, right? So that's a whole other. Yeah, I don't. So yeah, I heard that everyone had a good time. I think again, watch Friday's conversation. One of the things there's a lot of concern with a lot of people, and there's basically two sides of the coin. One side says, oh, we shouldn't be putting out this kind of stuff of our community in the public. And there's another side, hey, this has been going on. We got to get things right. And if there's been something done wrong, it has to be accounted for. So there's two sides of the fence. Whatever side you're on, good for you. But in the long run, we have to do better. And this is again what happens when we don't could be one of the results when we don't invest in ourselves. And again, accountability, whole other thing. There's a lot of things I could say, but I ain't saying them on this screen.
Well, I'm curious if there's going to be a recall of all the awards that have ever been given since the daughter of Harry Jerome wants the name taken off.
Okay, so we will talk about that because I dropped this on Ryan before we went live, and he went, what? Okay, so for those who don't know about the story, Harry Jerome's daughter, daughter.
Right.
She did an interview on CBC. She was also interviewed for the BuyBlacks.com piece about this. And she basically asked the BBPA to remove her father's name from the awards.
By sending a cease and desist letter.
Right. Now, she actually went to the awards ceremony on Saturday.
Whoa. Because people had called me wondering if there was going to be protests outside, but I don't know. Oh, wow.
Right. So now she was escorted out by security. I don't know under what circumstances, but she was escorted out of the event.
Because I would wonder if she was there, because she wouldn't have been escorted out if she was there to support it. So
no. That's an assumption. We don't know.
I'm talking about logically. So if she attends and says, you know what, I asked you to stop, but I'm here because it's still my father's name, so I want to make sure that I represent. I don't think they would have escorted her out. If she was there to
assumption.
Remember, this is my opinion. Okay. I don't know. Okay. I was not there.
Okay.
I was not there because, like I said, I couldn't afford to go. So if she was there asking questions about the situation, then I could see them saying, you know what, this isn't the best time. We're going to ask you to leave and escort her out because her father's name is on it. So if she was there in good faith to say, you know what, I still want to support, I don't think she would have got escorted out. So, and I don't think we'll ever hear exactly what happened.
Oh, well, if you ask her, I'm sure if we ask her, if we could get a hold of her, but you know what? You know what was missing in that situation? I wish someone would have had video.
Oh, maybe somebody does.
That video is valuable if there is content, but no, it's gone by, it's done, and actually I was chatting with someone yesterday and she was telling me, I'm trying to find pictures and video of this event, and it seemed that she couldn't find anyone. I only know of one person outside of the BBPA that has posted content from the event. I don't see a lot of people posting content about the event, because usually after that event, everyone is posting, the dress. I don't see a lot of it.
Their best dress.
I don't see a lot of it, which is really, maybe there'll be some today, but I don't see a lot of it.
Gotcha. One thing I just wrote down. I met a friend of yours.
I have friends. I have friends.
Well, she said hi to you. Minister Kamal Kara.
Oh, she don't like me. She treat me back. Well, come on, I gotta have to give Kamal.
She has such nice things to say about you.
Oh, so I just
they came to our office, and so ACPN is inside of Empowered for X in Brampton. Yep. So they were doing their announcement about the $60 million funding that Futurepreneur is getting.
Yeah,
which I have mixed feelings on. I don't feel Futurepreneur covers all of youth entrepreneurship. So curious that they got a really big chunk of 60 million, but it is money to support young entrepreneurs. And we love to see different ways that we can get our youth into entrepreneurship, and Futurepreneur is definitely one of them. So looking forward to reaching out to Futurepreneur to see what kind of collaborations can happen and how we can work together. I feel like we've been working on that for a couple years now to actually have a partnership or joint
collaboration.
Yeah, joint collaboration. So looking forward to that.
I'm coming for you. I'm coming for you. You're giving love to Ryan and all these things, so I'm coming for you.
And just a quick thank you to the other MPs that were able to come. So Ruby Sahota, she's been a big supporter of ACPN. Shamkat Ali, we're actually in his riding, so Brampton Center. So shout out to his team. And Sonia Sidhu, she also came. There's actually that was 4 out of the 5 Brampton MPs. I didn't.
You guys got it going on, baby. You got it going on.
Yeah, I actually got to frame that picture.
All right. Yes. Cool. Yes. So Fitness IQ says yikes about what happened with Ms. Jerome Smith. I missed your last name. And Ryan says, "Come on, Ryan. There's no way they'd let her stay at that event on Saturday night."
There is a way, because the optics of them having to escort her out, especially if she was there in good faith, because now she would get interviewed and was like, I just came because I wanted to support. It's going to look even worse on the BBPA if they said, nah, you got to go, because then after this, 100% that name has to come off. There's no way you can escort her out and keep the name going forward. So whoever's in charge of the PR for this event, I feel dropped the ball, because if she was causing a scene, then yes. But both scenarios cause you to have to take the name off. Like, you can't keep the name on now. And I'm curious if people that already have awards, they're going to ask them to send it in so that they can remove the name as well.
Well, it brings out to another thing, and what's the frequency of everyone would like to attend? Would you, the Black Diamond Ball and the hair? Are you asking us, or are you saying you like? Because, to be honest, I don't have any interest to attend either one of them. To be honest with me.
Yes, we've talked about both on the show.
Yeah, I don't have any.
We'll send Christopher as our proxy.
Yes,
go get some footage.
Yeah, Dr. Tati says sheesh. Yeah, no, I don't have any interest in attending either one of these things. Okay, Roger says, I understand it wasn't the PR team, it was the management of BBPA. So Roger,
I'm saying they're getting bad advice. I don't even know if they have a PR team, since they have to cancel the contracts. So
yeah, because originally the PR agency that was handling the Harry Jerome Awards was run by a Maltese Canadian.
Okay. So
I don't know who ended up handling it, all that stuff. But I just, okay. Dr. Tachi, hashtag Gala King, you don't want to go? Well, hurry up and send your crown if that's it. So no, Dr. Tachi, the event out this past Saturday.
You have to send my ticket. You have to pay for my ticket.
Yeah. So Roger says it was good to celebrate the 13 recipients because they have nothing to do with the allegations. True. Interesting. There's a guy, is it Jay Morrison, received a
lifetime?
Yeah. His mother was not on stage, and I don't know if his mother went to the event.
Okay.
So there's another question, and I don't know, maybe, but she was not up on stage to receive his award.
Yeah, I didn't hear any feedback from the family, how they felt about him getting an award from them. So if anybody knows, please do share.
Yeah. Hayden says damage control first. The potential damage or presence to them would outweigh every other consideration. I am not qualified to give advice on PR. In fact, they should probably call Fenella Bruce to give them some guidance, because that, and I don't know if you ever watched Fight Club, but the guy's job used to be that evaluator of car issues. So if a car blows up, you have to decide, do you recall the car, or do you take how many cars are going to blow up and pay out? So you now are going to escort her out. That could blow up. Or she stays and that could blow up. So whoever's in charge of determining that it's better to escort her out, sorry, that was this end. It's better to escort her out. Now they're going to have to deal with that backlash. And again, I didn't hear any reports of that until I heard it from you. So maybe that was the best move. Keep that quiet, and her presence would maybe be a downer for the event. So, people have to make these decisions, and then you have to deal with the consequences. So, question, Ryan, putting you on the spot. I've given you my answer. If you would have been offered a ticket to go to the event, would you have went?
I was offered a ticket.
Oh, okay.
But way too late. I had already committed to daddy duty and taking care of my children. So to drop everything and send my kids to grandma to go to this event that I don't do well at galas. So
hold on, but you're the Gala King. What are you talking about?
Hey, I didn't say I love to support events in our Black community, but I also love to support events that have tangible outcomes. It is very nice to pat ourselves on the back. Even when I get an award, it's difficult for me to show up to those events, because is patting myself on the back more important than doing the work? I usually would rather just sit home and do the work. So yeah, I love going to Black events, but there's way too many galas. Like it's out of control how many galas there are. And I don't, maybe just we need a better name. Like, do we have to do a full-fledged gala every time? And the worst part is that a lot of times they're not profitable. If people are doing and they're actually making money, by all means, do what you have to do to fundraise. But I get calls from organizations that have just finished a gala, lost money, and the gala was a fundraiser for the organization. That is actually backwards. We have to figure out what are better ways. And I joke about the story of former President George Bush, who had a hot dog fundraiser and was selling $10,000 hot dogs. Like, do we need to do all the glitz and glamour that costs so much that the money that's being spent isn't actually, it's just going to a venue that's not even Black owned? So money is actually going out of our community instead of circulating. So it's a lose-lose on all sides. It actually doesn't add up.
100%. Okay. More comments coming in. Frequency Event Pro says, I'm almost thinking that the event should have been deferred. Too late to have done that. Regardless, still it could be, but there'll be a huge loss of money.
Yeah, just the venue alone would have been.
Yeah. Regardless, still a fan of the organization. Just might need a new board from what's being said. Roger says, I guess it would have been a Debbie Downer. Okay. Dr. Tachi is going, ooh, you're not the gala king? And
I don't do well at galas.
Okay. Roger says, Ryan, agree, stay home and do the work. Yes. Jay's Hayden, thank you for your insight. Jay's family are personal friends of mine. Their son passed away only 2 months ago. That'd be the reason she wasn't on stage. Okay, we'll take your word and understood. Dr. Tachi says, yes, the problem is the output of money and resources needed to put on a proper gala. Cut down on the amount you actually make for the cause and funnel it to the people who are supposed to be benefiting from the cause. Absolutely. And then Jam Face Beauty J says, agreed 100%. Yeah, I think also Frequency Event Approaches would love to work on another gala, Black Excellent event that compiles what Ryan is saying, giving back monetary to the back. You don't have to put on an event to give back to the community.
So if we're taking the opinions and guidance of what we're talking about today, and we're going to do an event that speaks to Black excellence, by all means, hey, By Blacks does the People's Choice Award, which I am grateful to be a recipient of, and both of us. And so now that event, if it's only to pat people on the back and actually doesn't have tangible outcomes, is it worth doing? And if it's going to be a lose situation where you're losing money on it, is it worth doing? Because putting on events is not easy.
And it's a lot of time and a lot of money.
It's either you do it, you plan for it too late and you're rushing, or you have so much planning time that it takes up bandwidth of what you could be doing otherwise. Yeah, is that the best use of time? Or is it better to get together and actually plan out business ideas, like lunches where we get together and create strategic, alignment?
It makes me think too. I reached out to this gentleman before and it didn't work out, but we see if we can get him on. Who's the gentleman who runs Debonair Corporate Events again?
Dwayne Rutherford.
It'd be really good to get him to come on and talk about how to plan a successful event.
Right.
He has much experience doing that. Right. So frequent event person, I'm just saying I'm galled out. So it has to be something really outstanding that's worth my time to go to one. But you say tangible outcomes, 100%. Roger Dundas says the JC Old Boys Association did a bingo night virtually and made over $7,000 in profit and donated it to a high school in Jamaica. We don't always need a gala event. 100%. My dad is a member of the Cornwall College Old Boys Association. Mm-hmm. They do annual galas, and it's going up and up in price, but their gala is only I don't think it's more like $150, but they've done virtual events and come off very well. They even have a friends and family picnic day, which anyone can come and people donate, and it does well.
Right.
Right. Dr. Chad says, I think the reason Black people are so drawn to galas and these big events is because in many instances, congratulating ourselves is the only power we have.
And so speaking of that, if that has truth to it, wouldn't we want to shift to what other ways can we demonstrate power? Because if this is the only way is to dress up, and this, like Dr. Boyce Watkins talks a lot about this, the consumerism of the Black community and needing to pretend we're rich. And same with Dr. George Fraser talks about this too. He said, I'd rather have a bag with $5,000 in it than a Gucci bag with no dollars in it. If the only way that we can demonstrate power is to flaunt it and dress nice and show up to events and pat ourselves on the back, we have to think of alternative ways to show power. Could we come together as a community and purchase property? And look at Jamaica, Little Jamaica Land Trust that is being put together? Is there ways that we can come together and acquire businesses? We were talking earlier about succession planning. If a person is retiring or wanting to sell their business, can the community actually come together and purchase that viable business? Because I'm feeling sad for my barber whose children don't want to take over his business. And I keep thinking it's a money maker. Like some of these businesses just churn out money, and as soon as he decides to leave it or passes away, that business is gone. Now imagine ACBN and Buy Blacks and the Black Opportunity Fund, Dr. Vibe, we come together, form an entity and purchase that barbershop, put a manager in it, and it runs and is still generating money and an asset for the community. And their family would then get an exit instead of a business just closing. We have to look at different ways to demonstrate power. So the galas, to me, is not the best use of our time if that's the outcome.
See, here's my question. How, as you said, tangible outcomes, how have we gotten better with all these galas?
How do you even measure that?
Thank you.
Like, hey, Louis March said it. Like, we do these things and we don't measure it, so we don't even know what impact we're having. Where's the scorecard? All the events that are done for Black History Month, none of them talk about grading how we've done for the previous year or 50 years to say, where have we gotten to? Where are we today? And then what do we plan for in the future? Like, what do we need to do going forward? And then next Black History Month, we can score it again and then say, hey, how did we do this year as a Black community? So there's definitely better uses of our time that can produce data that allows us to make better decisions. Right now, we're not creating any data from these events that we're doing, so we're not able to make better decisions.
Dr. Tachi always says, also, no one else seems to congratulate us when we do well. And a lot of times we don't even congratulate each other when we do well. However, we've gotten addicted to it and it's become more about glory than the actual work. Dr. Tachi, you are on fire. You're always on fire, but those last two comments, next level. I think there's a number of people that need to see those last two comments.
100%.
Roger Dunn, frequent event promoter says, Roger Dunn, I like this. Roger Dunn says, Dr. Tachi, that's sad, which I think he's agreeing of what you're saying, Dr. Tachi. Mm-hmm. And she also says, yep, indeed, very sad, right? Let me just see. You measure it using the Gallup Performance Indicator metric.
That, hey, as the gala king, I might have to design that.
Like,
so anytime I go to a gala, we're gonna get the Gala Performance Indicator metric. Hold on, I need to write that down.
Okay. Frequency of Rare Promotion says, great point, Ryan. Let's see. You also got a question here. What I'm hearing is a think tank and profit-based events giving back to a group, business, and causes. Absolutely. 100%.
Let's lean into that. Like,
right.
Imagine the impact that could have just by us coming together and planning strategically, economically, especially how to move the community forward with acquisitions or just joint partnerships.
Well, I think it also leads to the point, but again, Roger knows what I'm going to say here. trauma, repetition, symbolism. All these another question: how many of these galas, after everything's done, is there revenue after?
But that would soften the blow of there being no tangible outcomes if it was a bona fide fundraiser for these organizations. If they do a gala and it allows them to get operating capital for the rest of the year, by all means, and some do. I'm not late. There's organizations that run well, like well financed galas that are sponsored and venues not expensive. So there's ways to do it and make money. That is definitely not what I'm saying, that you shouldn't ever do a gala if it's beneficial. But if, like you're saying now, it doesn't produce a profit, so what is it? It's then only symbolism. You're only doing it just to show off and to pat yourself on the back. And that to me doesn't move the community forward in a positive way. And they'll typically spin it to say, like, well, the more that we see success, then the more our children will want to be successful. There's many different ways to introduce our children to success, and a lot of times it does a disservice seeing somebody on a grand stage. They're not approachable. So if they're that successful, figure out ways to actually connect them to the youth that could use that support. So maybe the Harry Jerome Awards should have a monthly series where nominees and winners go to schools, or like a tour that connects the community to these winners, so that, one, we actually understand what they do in their lives. A lot of times you hear of these amazing things they're doing and it's just completely over our heads. And then that would become inspirational for us to want to become a scientist or part of athletics, or all like into the stuff that Jay Williams was doing with the school. Those are things that need to be continued. So the more that we understand what he was doing, we can continue that legacy. If it just stops at us giving him an award, that is worse, like, to me, than not giving him an award. Like, we have to be able to continue our legacy and not just symbolize it.
Yeah, it's a good point, Ryan. There's an idea right there you gave, that maybe the BPA can start doing something in Jay Morrison's, or Jay's name. I don't forget his last name, and do these stops at tours, continuing Miss Jay's legacy. It's an opportunity there. It's an opportunity there.
Or name the scholarship after him.
There you go.
We have a youth scholarship.
100%. Frequency Event Promoter says, thank you. Stay tuned in, quote, call out for strategic partnerships. Be interesting to see what response you get. I'll be curious. Curious. Roger says, but the youths don't attend. It's the same circle of people. I know in the past, again, I don't know enough anymore about the organization, but I knew that they also have a number of youths that would go for free.
They typically have one or two tables that I'm not sure if they're scholarship recipients, but that's where I'm saying they use I don't want to say propaganda, but they'll say it's inspirational for youth to see success in our community, which is true. But like Roger's saying, if they're not there, then that is missed. Like, it can't happen if there's no connection. So if they're not going to be able to attend the awards, then how do we extend the awards so that it's actually in community and it can be then connected to the youth that need to see the excellence,
Good point. Hayden Morrison says we don't have to throw out the baby with the bathwater. Let's learn to do appropriately and beneficially. Well, and I agree 100% with you. Are we ready to? Right? That's the thing. Are we ready to do that? That's the question. Are we ready to do it? Because, let's see. Look at this. Hashtag, hopefully no crickets to your request for partnerships.
Oh, yes.
Sorry, it came in late to the conversation. Morning, everyone. IPV80 says, no, they aren't canceling the awards. The awards were this weekend. It's already gone. Plug in, watch the show. And then also says sometimes it's more than that can be about awareness and advocacy when it comes to gala. Just the messaging around needs to be towards achieving those goals. All right. Roger says, I think the BBPA needs to focus on helping businesses and professionals, which I believe is their mandate. Do you need a gala to help focus business and professionals? I guess you do.
Well, along the way, you lose your way. And that's what the daughter of Harry Jerome was saying. It started out as a specific vision, and it is veered off course to a political agenda. So either it needs to get back on course, or you have to figure out like what you're going to do going forward.
Okay.
Because it can't stay the same. That's
I
guess what I'm saying. It can't stay the same.
Let's think about something as a frequency of event promotion. Let's think about something, though. If the youth are not engaged from a youth-centric lens, we can expect them to show up to events. Hopefully they'll show up. that's another demographic, getting them out to events. You got to make sure you put the right carrot out there so they're going to attend.
Well, and I'll give you an example with our symposium. For the first 2 or 3 years, youth were not there. It was over 30. And then we realized after we started doing youth programs, and we actually had a youth entrepreneurship program, we partnered with like Frontlines, we partnered with Delta Family Youth Resource Center. Then the youth knew who ACBN was.
Yeah.
So when we said, "Hey, we're doing this symposium," and we partnered with Roots Community Services, that's when youth attended because we had engaged with them throughout the year. If there's no tangible connection to the youth and you're not doing things that are of interest to them, they will not show up to your events. And they will diss you on TikTok. You can't just last minute call out people to attend, youth especially, to attend your events and think that you're catering to them.
You guys, well, even in our lives, again, I got my request to go to the Harry Jerome Awards on Monday night last week. Too late.
Right? I got it that day, the Saturdays.
Wow. Are you kidding me?
I can't. Yeah.
That day?
Calendar can't work like that.
Wow. That day.
Right?
That's interesting. That tells me something. At least tells me something. The day of. Wow. So then another fact comes out. What percentage of the tickets were actually paid?
Hey, and again, as a person that plans events, sometimes you just got to get butts in seats. So
exactly.
I do not fault them for that.
Yeah, I agree.
The lady that called me to give me the ticket, by all means, if they had a table and somebody couldn't make it and hey, they want to fill the seats, I don't fault them for offering. But yeah, you think you're an afterthought. It's okay, can you make it last minute kind of things? This.
Well, you know what? So this leads to some more questions. Who, obviously, you probably weren't a one of. Who was on that list to call on this Saturday? Who came up with that list, and who thought that people would come last minute to the event?
Hey, you gotta shoot.
You gotta ask though, but you gotta ask.
I don't fault that.
Yeah, but it's a very interesting scenario that you're. And let's put Ryan, you're well known, and I'm not doing that to big up, but you're well known, and they're thinking, yeah, Ryan, he runs ACBN. I'm sure. I'm going. On the day of, I feel humbled. I got a request on Monday. You got on the day of.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. So APV ADDT, you're a little behind. You're gonna have to catch up. So then his daughter should request the name. Well, she's requested that from the award. So watch our conversation.
Watch Friday. Yes.
Last Friday, and you'll get caught up on that. Frequency event promotion says #bingo. You should have we did have a show last Friday. Go last Friday.
And I believe the Monday we talked about it. Did we talk about the letter on Monday, or was that the previous week?
Good question. Don't remember.
Yeah, a couple episodes ago we dug into the letter.
Hayden says the current leadership group appears to have done a bad thing. It has a wonderful history. It should be fixed, not tossed. It's still our family. I agree. I think that it's going to be very interesting because now somewhere down the line, there's lawsuits already being put, and there are some lawsuits that people don't know about that I know about.
Oh boy,
that have been said. I'm not going to put it out there, but at least there's one or two I know about that people don't know about, and it's going to be very. So this is not gonna. It may go away from now, but it will rise again when the lawsuits start coming up. And someone was asking me about this whole situation yesterday, and they said Miller Thompson is one of the top law firms in Canada.
Right.
She said, and she knows, and she says, when Miller Thompson gets involved, that's not playtime.
Okay.
That's not playtime. So when Miller Thompson gets involved, it's not a fun thing.
Gotcha.
It's not a fun thing. So we will see this. We will make sure, and also organizations like By Blacks will make sure. But I'm just gonna put a last little thing on this. Interesting. Other than By Blacks, other than the Dr. Vibe show, I haven't seen any other Black media touch this story.
Yeah, what the list of Black media would be interesting to run down. Are we talking about like the Share, Pride, Caribbean Camera?
All of them. I have now again, I'm incorrect here, but By Blacks, Dr. Vibe show, then non-Black owned media, CBC, and also AM 640 in Toronto. Again, they did an interview with Perry Douglas yesterday on their program, and Ben Mulroney was quite interesting in his thought process. He was not, how could I say, he was not 100% impressed by the whole event. But I think he was just by his tone and things like that. He was, he was quite interesting, his tone and his question. He was okay, but it was just very interesting. And I'd be very interested to hear what did their listenership would have to say.
Yeah, true.
Right?
Yeah, those comments would be interesting.
Not making us look good in the best of light. And hey, again, I want to say I'm sure there's a number of good African Canadian organizations doing great stuff out there. 100%. The sad thing is they could be potential shrapnel because of this event.
You mentioned which other Black media would have covered it. I'm curious, which Black media was at the event that you went downtown to for the Black?
Okay, part two. We're going to bonus time. So yeah, I did talk a little bit on Friday. We'll rehash again. Last Thursday, I was invited by the Liberal Black Caucus to do a post-budget conversation at an office downtown. That's another interesting thing. Yeah, downtown, and people know Dr. Vibe don't like go downtown.
Yes, right.
Don't matter what time. Downtown Toronto traffic is miserable.
That's a nice way of putting it.
And this is at King and University, right in the financial district, right? So went down. Thank you, Ryan, who's going to pay for my travel time and my $23 ticket for 2 hours. Right? Okay.
I believe it.
So this is supposed to be a discussion. Now there were only 3 Black media organizations there. The other organizations were all, I'd say, social service organizations. So I'm going,
okay.
There were more social service organizations there than Black media. So my question would be, A, who did they invite? And B, who said no?
Yeah,
right? Right. So, you're
allowed to say who was there? Is it like secret event? Who is the other Black media?
Okay. I can't remember. There was one talk black something, a TV station. I don't know what they do, talk television or whatever. I think it's an online thing. I had never heard about them. That was one of the other ones.
I couldn't recognize anybody in the picture.
And then another person, I think he has an online thing, and I had never heard about him before.
Interesting.
So there were, but then I knew the people. There were people there from social service organizations. I knew some of them.
Right.
But and Buy Blacks did attend virtually.
Okay.
So the only media organization I recognized was Buy Blacks, and Roger and Camille attended virtually. And the thing is, when I came into the room, I said, you know what? I know media is not going to be really discussed, so I got to make sure I get my first question in.
Yes.
And I asked about, our typical question, hey, what's going on for funding with Black media? And it was, Michael said something, and then Ariel came in and gave some more information. And I thought, okay, I thought this was Michael's baby, but Ariel. But basically, it's still moving on, but they're seeing now that there is going to be a fund created for media for people of color, not Black media. It's now diluted. So it's diluted.
Gotcha.
So I just said, okay, all right. But I did have conversations with Ariel's press secretary and Marcian's press secretary to see if they can come on the platform. Now, Ariel did come on about a year or so ago, because I did look. We did have her on in the past. So they and Michael Couture, I have his phone number, and I always ask him, Michael, when you coming on? Well, you know my phone number. Okay, so I'm gonna. But the funny thing he said, now this was Thursday. After we had a quick conversation, he said, "Oh man, have you heard about this story about the BBPA?" I said, "Yeah, I'm doing something on it tomorrow morning."
Right. Yes.
So he heard about. Now he knew that was going on. So it was okay. Like, I think going forward, I don't think I'm going to go in person anymore. Like, they did point out that I've been at each one of these events in person.
Exactly.
But I don't know if I'll be going to another one virtual. But one of the things I sort of wondered at during this conversation, like, we've got to do a better job getting in contact with you and finding out what's going on. I say,
yeah, they do. Like, since the first meeting, we knew that. Like,
I'm just going,
nothing has changed.
That was a little bit of a disconnect for me.
Right.
Because look, I've known Marcy before she got into politics. I've known Michael before he got into politics. So I think we need to have a conversation on the Morning Vibe saying, are we relevant in Canada anymore?
Well, that'd be a good one for the Black Caucus, for us to have a panel of them on to rebut that question.
Yeah, because to be honest, I was disappointed, and I actually spoke. And the funny thing is, Ryan, you know how I ended up going, really and truly? But on was it Wednesday? The day before, I got a call from the PMO office.
Okay.
Saying, are you coming to tomorrow's event? We really would like you to come. I'm being open, people. I got a call from the PMO office.
And go on, that's Prime Minister's office?
PMO office.
Yeah, you're talking about you're not relevant. Is the Prime Minister has you on speed dial. Hey, you see how you missed that? You got you're like the face of Black media, sir. I don't know if you realized, but
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
You are the one that can hold them accountable to what they said. 3 times they said it to your face, and we have not seen any progress. So
that's why I say there's not alignment there.
Exactly.
So IPV-AD says, "Oh my Lord, why are we always stuck in the diversity space with everyone? Not to be insensitive, but we are our own Indigenous ACB people. Why do they always want us to share our space?" Good point.
Absolutely.
So IPV-ADDT, make sure you subscribe and notify. So when any of these ministers come on, ask that question. Ask that question. I think it's a really important question. Let me just see. Got Fitness IQ Cam, tell him again, Ryan. Stop your noise. And Scott goes, these grifters have allowed in the grand tradition of their forefathers who lost their own tribal festival. 3 generations in Canada and West Indian experiment in Canada is that's a complete failure. Interesting comment. Okay, off topic related again. A networking event in Peel and listen to a keynote speaker, winner of Dragon's Den. Their general thing, learned entrepreneurs, we are starting to align. Are we? Okay. You give me those details, or like, hey, be better. Have that person come on the morning vibe. Like to hear that.
Mm-hmm. True.
So I think that was so. I don't know, unless it's close to me. I don't know if I'll be physically attending the next event. And again, I always judge whether it's a gala, whether it's the thing I attended last Thursday. What happens in between that and the next event?
Yes.
Now, I have to say, the person from the PMO's office reached out to me after the event and said, how can we do better? So I went into a deep dive and actually have to continue the conversation with her. But she did say, she asked me for some follow-up. So I gave her some suggestions. And so she says, she's going to make a point of keeping in touch with me. So I will see if that actually happens. So I do. So if I didn't get that phone call, I would have not gone.
Okay. Well, and the fact that they followed up is more testament that you need to keep that conversation engaged and see this thing actually progress.
Well, I've got her number now. Yes. So it may have been the worst thing she's ever done, calling me.
No, the best thing.
No,
like if they're serious, if they're serious about actually getting it done. So because I've been blessed to have this opportunity, family, especially if you're African Canadian, touch base with me, because I want to use this opportunity for all of us. So I have an opportunity to have communication with someone from the PMO's office. So if you got my phone number, phone me. If you got my email address, email me, and I will direct them right to there. Right? Oh, so interesting. So what's this? Wow, we weren't the reason. No, you weren't the reason. I honestly said I didn't want to go, but then when Ryan said, I'm gonna pay for you, yes.
That I said, okay. And then when I got that other call, maybe he told the person in the PMO's office, check in on him. Right?
Yeah, I wish I had that pull.
Cash Lou, always thank you for your good day. Blessing, multitasking and listening in. Great topics and conversation. Good stuff. Mr. Big Payday, any thoughts of the proposed 66 capital gains increase? Great question. That was the 2 biggest topics chatted about, or 3 during that conversation with that media meetup, alleged media meetup. Was one was the capital gains tax increase, and there's a lot of misunderstanding. People are very confused about it. Another thing was daycare, and also the cost of living and housing. Those are the prime things. So those are the hot topics during the conversation. And the capital gains thing, there is a lot of people who don't understand about what's going on. And the funny thing is, they were saying, the members of the Liberal Party saying, hey, it's only going to impact like the top 1 or 2% in this country.
Gotcha.
But it was a lot. Like Ariel had to really explain it out for everybody, because there was a lot of confusion with that. So it was interesting. I just listened really and truly. I asked one question, and I wanted to be first. Okay, I got my son, and then let everyone else, because I knew that if I didn't say anything, media would have not even talked about.
Yeah, it's a good approach to get it in.
Get it first, and make it happen. So yeah. So look at this. So I that's one of the things too. People thought once we get one of the members of the Liberal Black Caucus on, these are the questions, but also send them to me ahead of time. So I've got my piggy bank. So when they come on, I break the piggy bank. Say, okay, Michael, or okay, Marcy, or okay, Ariel. I should have a clang sound saying, I'm breaking the piggy bank for the questions.
Nice.
We put them in the piggy bank, and now they're being opened.
Yes.
Okay, Dr. I spoke about last year. Yeah, fitness. Okay, fitness. I go, yeah. Ooh, good question, Mr. Big Payday. Of course, she likes that. But Baha, it's true. It's going to hit folks that have capital gains over $250,000, etc. And you're saying, Ivy, would MP Ariel come on the show? She did in the past. She came in the past.
Right.
So let's, we'll see what happens because they know we're there.
Yes, exactly. Michael's been on.
Yeah.
Ariel's
Has Michael been?
Yeah, man. We had a full conversation with him.
Yeah, but they know we're there.
Yes.
My suggestion is start coming on now because next year is scheduled an election. You need to start getting the message out, especially with the budget. Because again, Ryan, you brought up on an earlier morning vibe, you don't see too many references on Black or African Canadians in that budget. And the only, I think one of the major ones of the few is the thing for mental health.
Yes.
Okay, family, come on and
understand it fully.
Right? Come on and understand. Like, hey, go to the agencies that deal with it. Do engagement with them.
Yes.
Because they're servicing the front line, right? You're on one side, they're on the other side. The recipients are on the other side. You could be you could have the media or these agencies be the intermediaries to deliver your message.
Mm-hmm.
To do that footwork, it needs to come out because yes, mental health is a serious challenge in the African Canadian environment community. Have the people that do it engage with them. Just don't have like a meetup and that's it.
Exactly.
And that's what I encourage. Come on the Morning Vibe. Come on these media so it has a place to live, so people can refer and go to instead of what are they doing? I don't know. Go online.
Yeah,
that's what we do.
And we had talked about, or maybe joked about, having like a political commentator as one of the monthly stand-ins. I think after we had Rob Davis on. So we should look back at that.
Yeah, I think we got to do some planning offline. 100% I agree.
Yeah.
IPVAD says, I'm wondering and a bit disappointed in Marcy, and she's from the media entertainment industry. You'd think she'd do more. Well, Marcy has quite the portfolio, right? So again, she's got a lot of people to serve. But I think Ryan will remember this conversation. When she got elected for the first time, I said, Ryan, you watch.
Mm-hmm.
Marcy Ian is a very MVP for the federal Liberal Party.
Right. And so said, so done.
Right.
Yes.
Has the media experience. Hey, remember, she was in the media industry, so everyone knows her, and you never heard anything bad about her. Plus, she knows how to handle the media.
Oh, yeah.
She's a Black woman. And she basically got to the point when she was on the social, I almost compared her to Canada's Oprah Winfrey before, what's her name on City Line?
Oh, Tracy Moore?
Tracy Moore.
Right.
Marcy laid the foundation. Like before Tracy, she was basically, for a lot of people, Canada's Oprah.
Yes.
Right? Mr. Big Pay, it seems like the proposed capital gains, amongst other things, is part of the quote, you'll own nothing and be happy agenda of the, I don't know what WEF is. I don't know what that is. IPVADT says she moved up the ranks in the Liberal government quickly because she has a lot of value and access. That's why.
Yes.
I told Ryan this. You watch. I don't know if Ryan remembers. I said, you watch.
Yeah, because I was thinking it was going to even be difficult for her to win because she was going up against the leader of the Green Party at the time.
Yeah. No, I said, you watch. And bang. She MVP of the Liberal Party and other things. So you know what? I think we're going to shut it down, family. I think we've had another spirited conversation. Ryan, what's going on in your world this week?
So please and thank you to those that are watching. Share upcoming event on Friday is Branded TO, which is a youth-focused entrepreneur event. So information and posts about it. It's going to be happening all this week. But if you know any young adults that interested in entrepreneurship or looking for support, there's also going to be a pitch competition. So if you want to watch and support those pitching their business, trying to win the cash prize. Definitely, it's going to be at 918 Bathurst on
Well,
Friday.
that's in the Blackhurst. Is that the Blackhurst Center? No, it's near the Blackhurst Center.
Yeah, I think it's upstairs. Is it?
Okay, which is and big kudos to the Blackhurst Center. Have just either it's open now or in the process of they're creating a affordable housing area right down there.
What?
I got an email about it, and I've emailed them. I say, hey, would love you to come on the show to talk about it. So I got to follow up, but yeah, they have. If you well, then that's the powerhouse of I just Adu.
Yes,
and her husband Miguel, and they so they have there's an affordable housing space opening up in the Bathurst and Bloor area of downtown Toronto, and they have been the driving force for it.
And
so
if you want some history of Toronto, get their book Blackhurst that has different stories of that area of Bathurst and Bloor. It really opens your eyes to the history of
man, the Bathurst and Bloor other than Little Jamaica, there was other time where Bathurst and Bloor was a hub for the African Canadian community.
I've been loving reading this book, so definitely
absolutely. So IPV says being a cabinet minister in the first years doesn't normally happen. No, it doesn't. But again, when you got so much value, you can move fast. Right?
Yes.
And then Mr. Big Day, World Economic Forum, LOL. Sorry, I'm
thank you.
Not as well versed in those things. And I guess maybe the next time we do one of these, we can talk about all the United Nations DPAD event that happened over in
Can we find somebody that went to that?
Cesar went to it. He was on. So again, people, if you have a chance, watch a replay of Black Canada Talking yesterday. Cesar was on, Cesar Nadima Musa. Yeah. He actually spoke at it, and man, did he go in. Wow. He attacked countries. Like he went after China.
Okay. You gotta go watch that replay.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Good. But there's some interesting, well, let's just say there's a lot of people that were over there. In my thought, what were they doing there? That's a whole other conversation. That was a whole other thing. But again, you can watch replays of this epic conversation on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and Facebook, ACBN, Facebook, YouTube. We got to get the YouTube connection reconnected. I don't think it's happening. Ryan Oneil Knight, YouTube, and same thing with the YouTube. Well, you got the YouTube going, but you also got on LinkedIn, so that's good. And we also, sorry, Dr. Thatcher, we got to put this on Indie Soup Media. I don't think there's enough character space, but we'll get it on there. So Friday coming up, Wayne Harris, Financial First Fridays. And also, family, if you know someone you feel that should be on this show, contact us.
Yes, let us know. Hidden gems, we got to spotlight them.
So subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Also like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and the Instagram. If you want to advertise your business product or service on the platform, email us dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. And then join the Discord group. Email me for that. And then if you want to get a hold of Ryan, there he is. I think I've put that in the comment section. If you want to get a hold of me, there I is.
Yes.
So that's it, family. Thanks for making it another epic Monday. Wayne Harris coming up, and also follow me on YouTube. A lot of great conversations in regards to Black African Canadian health this week. Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Some great conversations. We'll be back with you on Friday. I think we got one. Go ahead.
One sec. Did you answer the trivia question? Was it WhatsApp?
WhatsApp. Yes. WhatsApp.
Okay.
Like the only time I use WhatsApp really to look at is I have to make a long distance call. International long.
Very good for that. Yeah.
That's a good. But everybody, okay. So will Wayne address capital gains on Friday? We'll be watching on Friday. So I will make a suggestion. Maybe he can give a review of the budget.
Yeah. That'd be good.
Have him give a budget review. And what I will do is, if he could confirms that, I'll touch base with the PMO's office and say, hey, you may want to watch this.
Yeah, this is how the community talking about what you guys put out there.
What you guys put out there. So great. I will make sure I reach out to Wayne today and see what's happening there. So as always, live your life a dream. Live your life as
Live
a dream.
your life as a dream.
And if you can dream it, you can make it.
Yes.
Sometimes you have to get smaller, get stronger, block assumptions, aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Remember to don't just manage your time, manage your energy, and remember to give yourselves grace. Actually, I heard another exactly. Send them the link. I will. Actually, it's on the other computer. There was a quote that someone gave this week, saying, "When you do the boring things well." I'm sort of paraphrasing. Said the gentleman said, "When you do the boring things well, life becomes easier."
Interesting. Yes.
I loved that quote. So I thought that was really so. If you can get well at the boring things, life will become easier. So on that, boring sometimes is good. Okay. All right, everybody. God bless. Peace well. Keep the faith. Walk good.